I don't even know how to really start this video. So, basically, the title of the video is correct. You know, I don't know. This is, like I said, this is gonna be pretty much uncut. No script, no nothing. I'm just gonna kind of talk to you guys. So, as you know, my uploads have been slowing down, and they've been very, very inconsistent this year and even last year. And I do want to say that I'm very sorry that that was the case. There was a lot going on. A lot going on behind the scenes. A lot going on that, you know, it affects kind of channel flow, stuff like that. But I've kind of talked about all those other stuff in another video that I uploaded, I think it was about 8 months ago. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is the fact that, you know, I'm going to talk about the off-roading side. And I want to talk about, you know, the reason why I'm not riding as much, the reason why, like, I'm not, you know, uploading as many videos, and even if I do, they're kind of a little bit lower quality than normal. And that's honestly because I'm just being straightforward here. I've kind of lost my passion for riding. Let me explain. So, just today, I went to go out and go ride, and you know, a friend of mine, which I'm not gonna name any names. Nothing bad happened. I'm just, you know, I'm not gonna name any names. But I went to go ride with a friend of mine, and he, you know, he had an emergency that he had to take care of. Completely reasonable, understandable, and I have complete total respect for that. So I'm like, okay, that really sucks. I hope everything works out for you. So I basically was like, well, I'm not gonna be riding with my friend, and so, you know, and I used to ride a lot by myself, but this time I just couldn't find the motivation to really bring myself to be able to ride by myself, you know. And I mean, you do meet people out on the trail, and I do that a lot, but I just could not motivate myself to do it. So I ended up coming home and just unloading everything and just kind of just being done with it. I did bring the GoPro out. I thought about maybe filming a video, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And I have like 2 other videos that are recorded, not edited yet, that I was going to upload. Just never got around to it, never did it. You know, it's having the motivation to do that along with the passion. And I don't have the passion for riding like how I used to. You know, I used to be able to go out, not think about it, go out, record, ride, come back, edit, upload. You know, there was no thought process in it at all, none. But now I'm just thinking really hard about, like, you know, what do I do this video? What do I do that video? Is this shot right? You know, like this is, I mean, even this right now is being recorded on basically a new camera. It's an A7X. And I just, I don't know. And alongside that, it was brought up a while ago about like how my uploads are slowing down, and people brought up that it was like a money issue. That's not necessarily the case. And the reason I say that is because, you know, it goes back to the idea of passion. Because I recently bought myself a new to me car. It's a 23 WRX. If you've seen my Instagram, you know, pictures, you would see it on there. There's also like, I think like a video tour on TikTok about it too. I don't know. But I never uploaded it to YouTube at all. It was a personal thing of mine. I wanted that car for a while. Finally got it. Did a bunch of upgrades to it the same way I do to my quads. It's same ordeal. But I didn't record any of it for videos for the most part. Well, that's not true. I do have a video recorded for it, but I never uploaded it because I was like, I just kind of just want to enjoy the car, you know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel as well when it comes to riding and stuff like that. I just don't, I'm not as passionate about riding anymore. I don't know why. I mean, I guess there's a couple of smaller reasons, like um, a good friend of mine that used to ride a lot, again, not naming names, had a really bad accident at Hidden Spring Ranch, and almost passed as a result of that said accident, and that kind of shifted things a lot for the group. And now it's not even really a group anymore, it's just me. And another thing I want to add is the trails that have been closing around in my area. So if you've seen like my old crusty videos, which are still on the channel to this day, if you really want to go back and look at them, you can, but they're really hard to watch. You would know that like there was like the Germantown trails, which a lot of people call Rip Rap, and then you have Big Maple Farms was another one that was around, Thrashing Trails, like, and that's 3, and then obviously you had Hidden Spring Ranch, Haspin, Tecumseh Trails at 6. Those are your big 6. Well, we're down to 2, and that's Hidden Spring Ranch and Haspin, because Tecumseh Trails was not able to redo their lease contract or property contract. I don't really know the 100% what's going on. I know that Becky made a post about it on Facebook about how they weren't able to redo their contract. So they are basically moving from that property to another property, but I don't know what all is going on yet, so I am not going to make any assumptions at all as to if it's going to be a good property, bad property, if they're moving at all, if there's going to be any trails at all. I'm just going off the assumption that I don't want to rely on false information, so I'm assuming that there is no trail. That is the way that I perceive it. I'm not saying everybody else should perceive it that way, but that is my perception of the entire ordeal. So ultimately that leaves Hidden Spring Ranch and Haspin Acres. Haspin Acres is over an hour and a half drive, which is not that bad. But at the same time, like say something happens to Haspin, Hidden Spring Ranch, well, the only other place you can go to that's close is probably Badlands, honestly, and that's a 4-hour drive. So, that's not going to work. I also want to address Farm Fest. I did say that I was going to go to Farm Fest, and I didn't. And the reason why was because I had a hotel reservation set up on a website. All the dates were perfect, and then when I went to go call ahead of time, when I had everything preloaded, ready to go, I had everything, all I had to do was just start driving, that's it. That's all I had to do. They told me that my reservation was set the week before the week that I actually set it for, which costed me about $450 that they would not refund me. To some people that may not seem like a lot, but to me that's a lot. And I was like, okay, I don't want to spend another $400, X, whatever amount of money for another room, and then money on gas, because we're pushing over $1,000 at this point, and I didn't want to do that, so I didn't go. And on top of that, it felt like I was still forcing myself to go, minus the fact that I was, going to be with my friends, which I'm going to put a pin in that, because there is something that I want to talk about that. So yeah, that pretty much does that. I wanted to go to Badland Bash. Didn't know about it until the last minute, so I couldn't go because I didn't have enough time to prepare. I really figured it out on Friday. It just wasn't going to work, so I couldn't do that. And I know I said I was going to go the past couple years, and the things just haven't turned out, the way that I wanted it to. It just didn't work. So, it was obvious that I wasn't going to go to Fall Bash. Am I going to go to Mud Bash next year? No, I will not be going to Mud Bash next year. I sold my camper. It was really, really annoying. I didn't like it, didn't want to deal with it. It was very frustrating. And honestly, I didn't want to bring this up, but I did get treated pretty bad down there at Mud Bash. Usually I ignore things like that, but, people don't realize that the things that I have and things that I, have gotten, I've worked very, very hard to get, and you guys have no idea what I had to go through to be able to get as far as I have. And, so to have the disrespect like that really did bother me. But I won't say that that's the sole reason, because that's not really true, you know. Because treatment by other people doesn't really matter that much to me by the end of the day. It's a small deal. It doesn't matter. It's the passion is my big thing. Well, so with that being said, no, I will not be going to Mud Bash next year. Will I be going to Badland Bash? Probably not. There's a chance, but maybe not. No. Will I be uploading consistently anymore? No. In fact, it'd probably be best to not expect any videos from me at all. There might be a video here and there. That's the reason why the title of this video is Goodbye, See You Later. Because ultimately, what I'm getting at here is I am basically, by the end of the day, quitting YouTube. And it's just, and to summarize, like I said earlier, the reason why is because I'm not passionate about it anymore. I did YouTube for the passion. A lot of people believe that it was the money. That is not the case at all. I was not making as much from YouTube as people thought that I was. It's not nothing. If you include the assistance with sponsors along with the ad revenue, it wasn't nothing. I was getting paid, but it was not enough for me to go full time. So, or even reliable enough to go full time. So with that being said, it's not going to hurt me to drop that at all. The money is not an issue whatsoever. So, no, it was not a money issue. It's just the passion is the thing. And the reason why I kept uploading, even though I wasn't passionate about it for the past about a year and a half to maybe even 2 years at this point, is because of you guys, because of your comments. I get messages, I get emails, which is insane because my channel's not a big channel. I mean, yes, we have 10,000 subscribers, yes, which I really want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart that we've made it that far. That was incredible. But I actually do get emails and I do get private messages on Instagram, about what people want to do with their builds and stuff like that, and what I've done to mine, and what the next video is. I actually do get messages, and it really is cool, and that's what kept me going for the past 2 years. Despite me losing my passion, you guys were the reason why I continued, and you guys were the reason why I made videos for as long as I have. Because a lot of people don't realize that I've been around since 2014. I think my channel was made before Braden Price's channel was. So I've been doing YouTube for, at this point, 11 years. And I enjoyed every minute of it up until, again, about 2 years ago. And that's when it really started to hit hard. There were times where I didn't enjoy it, but this is where it's gotten very consistent to where I feel like I've been having to force myself to make videos, with the only video exception being the Trike Fest video that I made. That one was the only exception where I did not feel like I was forced to make that video, and I really did genuinely enjoy my time at that event. And I definitely want to thank everybody who, if there's anybody watching this video that have seen that video and or was a part of the video or at the event at the time watching this video, I do want to thank you for the hospitality, and it was a great time. It was great, and I will very much remember that for a long time. So with all that out of the way, now that you know that I'm quitting YouTube for real, what's going to happen to the channel? My channel's not going anywhere. It'll become an archive for all the remaining videos that are currently uploaded to the channel. I hope none of them disappear via by YouTube, deleting them or whatever. So if you want to go back and watch my old content, it will all be there. It will all be available to you. What about the future? There may be some video uploads here and there, but it's not going to be consistent. That's the thing. It's just because I'm not really that passionate about it anymore. and it feels like it's forced. Like I said, maybe there might be a video here and there, maybe. Like, because I still have video ideas. Like, I want to do the Kodiak versus the Renegade video. Like, I really want to actually do that video. But other than that, like, I don't know. Like, it's just hard for me to come up with ideas now for some reason. It feels like I'm trying to make videos rather than just having them passively exist and be created. It just doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't. And, you know, like I said, there's a lot of stuff on the personal side that's happening too. Because I'm only really addressing the off-roading side. And I don't want to get into the personal stuff. I don't. There's just a lot been going on in my life outside of YouTube. And, you know, it's a lot. So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for you guys' support over the years. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the videos. I want to thank you guys for commenting, liking, sharing the videos. I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors over the years. And then I also want to give an apology to Tarachi. Because they were the most recent sponsor, and I feel like I did not live up to their standards, or even my own standards for that matter, and I wish I could have done more. It just sucks that, like, things went downhill when they did, but that's just life. I do want to end it by saying that I'm okay. From the mental side, I am okay. I'm just focusing on different things. So, you know, just moving on, ultimately. So, like I said, there might be a video here and there, but by the end of the day, I want to say, you know, that this is it. So, thank you guys for so many years, and thank you guys so much for all the support and all that you guys have done. I want to say it one last time. You guys are the reason why my channel has made it this far, why I have made it this far. And the videos that you have seen are because of you guys. You guys are the reason why I continued so long. So, yep, goodbye, and I'll see you later.